he's like future star player that Tenier can be. Him slotting into this role and being more passive and trusting in his teammates like this, and just, hey, taking these wins and being happy with the score at the top of the screen as opposed to anything else is such a positive sign.
Look at Tenier hitting the little stretch right before he went in, did a little wrist roll. He's got the sleeve. He's got the other sleeve rolled up. I'm thinking if he ever needs a tattoo, he's got to put it in that spot right above the gamer sleeve where he pulls his up.
Yeah.
All right, we're into the fun. We're into the action. It is Dust2, and it looks like we're going to get an immediate challenge through mid. It's Donk and Tenier, so this is going to be sparks right off the rip. We promised you some fun, and it's a quick exchange with Donk. Tenier damaged up, but headshots are good, and Tenier just ain't missing. Plucks 3. That's a start here for Spirit. That's what they wanted. When they pulled him from the clutches of Heroic and yoinked him into this team, Heroic did not want to part. And Spirit said, yeah, that's our headshotter right now.
We'll be taking that just nicely.
This would take the ace from Heavy God, but he is certainly capable. 3 already found of his own. You know what this man could do. Perfect Molotov for this engagement. Gonna force the player out from the corner. Chasing it down. Just gotta find one more. And an ace on deck as the god of the server looks for the shot. He needs a reload required and just not enough.
What a ridiculous fight. What a ridiculous end to that round. Almost the ace. It was all about who was going to hit that first or last shot for that matter. And finally, the dual Berettas with a little bit of extra ammunition do the damage. Heavy God, the only one able to strike up against Tenier. And quite the move there. The acrobatics coming through out of Heavy God.
Like
I didn't know he had that motion.
Right there. I had a feeling this one was going to provide some sparks. I'm loving it here and now.
Had a feeling. Then you see these 3 maps come through, and that's just more and more confirmation. Then you see the pistol come through. Donk and Tenier tearing it up middle.
And Heavy God with a near ace. It's brutal how those pistols sometimes, you know, you hit a brilliant headshots at everyone, and then suddenly the one that you most needed doesn't come to pass. Pinch on towards B, though. This is good for the force buy. They're going to overwhelm. Donk gets 2. Something found, but zweih ducking behind the smoke. Able to hold strong. That's nicely done. Now, Heavy God was supposed to be a factor once the bomb went down. Instead, now he has to try and pick up the pieces again. Duel Tenier. These fights are a little isolated, but Tenier able to keep his head out of danger and keep that one controlled for Spirit.
Bringing in a little bit of stability right there on the closer. Nice hold together from zweih, able to answer the call on that B-bomb site with the help of Donk with those openings. And 2 apiece out of your B-side players there. A very good sign.
It's an eco, but it's 3 deagles.
Always got to bring the deagles out into the mix. Everyone besides Mal's having them, though, is an interesting.
I will say he is a...
He's pretty good with the
deagler,
eagle.
man.
That he is.
The legends are told in the Americas of the Mobs Deag.
Yeah. Don't want to be on the wrong end of that. Going to be quite happy with the Glock that he has right now, but everyone else also pretty deadly.
This is how you know Hunter hasn't fully completed his evolution into IGL brain. He's not giving that deagle over. He still knows he can get it done himself. Ooh, there's a tag up. If that was a deagle, that would have been a kill. Instead, now there's nothing to it. Mattis gets something. And the moral of the story is, give Mobs deagle.
At least a P250.
Something.
It landed that first headshot, almost had him.
Not a Glock. Surely not. There's no engagement right now as Tenier tries to slip back through. They've still got
Crosshair?
zweih chilling in B, so there's really nowhere to go. Nowhere to go indeed.
There's some kills for Tenier. Inside the pistol, able to find himself 2 more ecos. Start things off with the statement here. Spear ready to play, and also again just match some of the aggression that G2 are throwing. Meeting them at the punches. Before that first gun round comes through here, sure is going to be rocking it up. I guess we have a little bit of history between Tenier and Saul. We had to quickly get him adjusted into this roster. was able to find some big solutions for Heroic, even though there was that awkward liftoff phase for the roster at the beginning of the year. Saul is a coach that can still make things work, as I've already seen on this G2 squad.
Coach, what's the plan for Tanir? Yeah, don't let him shoot you in the head.
That's the sort of insight that Saul is going to bring to the table here.
Coach of the Year candidate, as far as I'm concerned.
A nice resume. That is for sure.
A little bit of flames at the feet of Mobs as he wants to take that initial phase and maybe catch a player off guard, but there was no one home. There was no one here. They've gained Catwalk, uncontested. Smoke to block it.
I ended up on a little bit more of a passive setup here, trusting in the op presence, giving over all of long right now.
They have Shiro, but they don't, and they have one more smoke. That smoke's now been deployed. This is something that Spirit really likes to do. When they see that initial smoke, when they see players trying to set up on Catwalk, they throw an immediate response off the util, but now they don't have any more. So it's going to just have to be the guns. Shiro spotted. They know where the op is playing from, but they want to be the split in towards B, so now there's numbers to receive. Here comes the motion, but that's a great headshot out from Sampaius, getting it done with a rifle, and these B players are melting away. Chopper deleted. G2 rock right into the teeth of the Spirit setup, and they knock them right out of their mouths.
I mean, it looked so well set up for Spirit as well. You even have Shiro trying to pluck out damage with the op at range. He gets nullified by a smoke. And in theory, 3 players ready to go on the defense, all trying to set their focus on middle with a little bit of help from back plat to cover off tons. It's a well put together defense, just can't hold up against the quick shots. Put up by Heavy God. Maddie's in Sampaius right there. On the entry, G2 show how they deal with the setup, how they limit that multi-kill ability of this Spirit CT set that's so incredibly deadly. Now Malbs gets a little bit of that feeling. He was supposed to draw in some attention on that lurk. Mission accomplished. Doesn't really get anything for his troubles, but watches that kill feed and is quite happy with the end result.
Yeah, you gotta be satisfied with it. And someone's going spelunking. Shiro has got his little headlamp on. He's under the table. Maybe just curling up for a quick nap. Or looking to change some chords. We got a little bit of a tech pause here.
Afternoon nap sesh.
Drag those things around. Got to charge your mouse. What's going on here?
Oh, I think Tanir's waving at Saw.
Old friends. I did want to dip back into the well of communication. We do have the mailbag, DHL mailbag, at efg.gg if you want to talk to us. You remember the guy who said he was scared and traumatized by Mr. Bean? Turns out he's not the only one. More on Mr. Bean. Hey guys, I also think Mr. Bean was really creepy. This guy is not alone. And now I cannot watch Kyosuke playing because he really looks like young Rowan Atkinson. Respectfully, G. I've never thought about that. Did we see it with Kyosuke? Kyosuke? Rowan Atkinson, Mr. Bean. Can we see it?
I'm only seeing an animated Young Bean series from my search.
Well, they got to keep milking it. I bet it's not even the guy voicing it anymore. I could see it. Yeah, actually, I can see it. I think it's maybe the eyebrows. I could see it. If he... No, actually, the more I look, the more I'm seeing it right now.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm seeing the comparison. Like, definitely younger.
I think I have facial blindness. I really only notice people's hair, for the most part.
So if I get a haircut, you won't know who I am?
No, I will. It's not that serious. It's just more so when I think about similarities, that's what I go to. And hair color's not the same.
Do you think you can distinguish people's crosshairs better than you can their faces?
Probably. No.
Counter-Strike.
Probably faces. We're back.
We're back into the fun. Mr. Bean, man. Out here traumatizing people.
Didn't realize he was so scary.
That's crazy. Still got a little break music.
Yeah. Not a bad touch to this round here. It's an intense one. lock themselves in a little bit more success on the gun rounds. Were able to avoid the crosshairs of Shiro in the last, but keeping that up. Not so easy of a task here.
There's more utility for him right now on the ramp. It's still very early, right? More of it can be dragged out. But that's the change.
Oh,
one of the things that put the pressure on them on towards A was that they couldn't... Oh, not live. Anyone damaged? Anyone damaged?
Nope.
100, 100, 100, 100, 100.
All healthy.
Not live. I'm hearing typing. This round will not be getting played. Whatever the technical issue is, it appears to have continued. So a little reset. And we are back to working on Shiro's machine. Yeah, we're going to have to pull this computer into the shop here. Your transmission is totally blown.
Got the thumbs up right there. But it did look like, you know, Shiro sitting behind a box there was not quite in prime position with the op.
Me personally, my computer's a manual. You have to press the clutch to turn it on.
Yeah.
If you want to open a new application, get the stick shift going.
Gotta move it forward.
It's a little clunky, but it gets the job done.
Or stall out.
Look, every time I disconnect from Counter-Strike.
Well, a bit of the brakes being slammed, but we're back. We're on reset.
It does really give you better control, though, of your task manager.
Manual?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've always been on automatic. Does the job.
True ball nowhere. Tanier, I don't know if he got any information off that, but he did stare into a flashbang for a little while.
Yeah, that was...
Guys,
for Bright.
No one's there.
Looking like us on the top of Banana. Catching a couple of flashes here. It does feel a lot like a similar setup to what they were running before the break, for both sides actually. Tanier was alone in pit. I've seen this before. This time, with Shiro fully online, we'll see him position his op to help out. Positioning towards the long and connects on a heavy god before they scale too far. Flashes go as a reaction as well, but re-peeking into the angle. Sampaius is ready to dismiss. Might be a nice prize for him around that corner for an AWP as well.
That's the best way to get an op. Take it off your enemy, and Sampaius is loving life, getting his hands on his beautiful big green gun. Donk with an angle on that smoke. Gotta be careful before it fades. Here comes the cross. Utility to try and make them very uncomfortable indeed. They're getting a player up on towards Cat. Something could be done about this.
Uh-oh.
And here it goes. Here it goes, but if they lose one, it could be all over. Donk is the problem here. On these hop-up boxes, can't... Oh, does deny the bomb plan. It was last second, and now Donk's found all the kills that he needs. Op flicks down, huge damage done, but they just don't have the time for this. Moss has to go flying around the angle, but he still finds a decapitation shot. They need this kill. 4 seconds. Tanier just trying to stay alive, dipping, diving, dodging, and he has done it. Round on for Spirit. No survival, but Tanier, just the wart on the nose of a nice take from G2.
Just surviving that round. Valve showing up on that catwalk. What felt like too little too late, but the kill means it's on. Sampaius with these couple of frags with the AWP, making it possible as well. And they lose track of Tanier. I think they thought he might have dropped it towards CT. So just when the round expires, Sampaius lands the finishing blow. Op is saved, at the very least. And long control established here, waiting for the smoke to land. And it's going to be a timing shot. No, he advancing past it. Flashbang perfectly connected on for both camps.
This is, again, maybe just that little bit of timing, getting a new teammate in the mix. The flash certainly caught Sampaius, but it also certainly caught Tanier. They get those things ironed out, though it does succeed in getting him in towards pit, which was the primary objective.
We'd like to see that initiative out of Sampaius right there, feeling so confident with the op, enough to step out like that. Just as they work their way out towards the middle, forced back by the molly. A little bit of space has to be conceded. Chopper up to the task of holding them at bay for now. And again, all about what Shiro can do with the op on those cat defenses. Such a key point on this map of Dust2. Donk's rocking the handoff keyboard right now, just maximum chill in this round. And As long as his teammates hold it up on the A side, he should be able to contain that.
Just had to wipe the hand off, you know, a little sweaty palms. Now he starts
with some stretches.
He's so aware. He's also aware of when his hand needs to be on the mouse. Good timing of that incendiary. Hadn't quite thrown the A exec yet, so they could wait that out. Now Shiro, he's got a flashbang. They've just lost Chopper towards mid. That was most of the remaining U2. They've done a good job of waiting this out. Time is low once again, but G2, if they can get past this off, well, that's a big if to ask. Tanir here to support, and one by one, they whittle away.
There's time.
This time it will be planted. This time it will be planted. No one goes for the jump to deny, but it is just one man, and Matisse cannot get away from the site.
Handoff keyboard, but quick enough to spring into action there for the finishing blow. Spirit containing this again, leaving it down to the wire there. Some tricky shots for Sheer. The fact that he's able to throw it in some damage while Tanir then gets the multi at range. I mean, both these players having to hold up as a duo versus the full cat scale in a 4v5 deficit. And they make it look pretty easy for themselves.
Mattis is bought in. Interesting. Could, of course, sell that. But it did seem like the initial game plan was to really play some of these rounds slow, wait out that choke point util, which they do. But the problem is it buys so much time off the clock that in those 15 to 20 seconds, if you have any sort of resistance whatsoever, getting the kills on towards sites, not so good. And there's this guy, Shiro. He has this other guy, Tanir. And when both of them are together and you've got no time to spare, I might just charge you a couple extra seconds.
That is, I mean, exactly what they hope out of some of these pieces on the extremity when you're looking for big multi-kills. Tanir being able to influence the round like that with the rifle, he is bringing the intensity here versus G2 right now. 9-2 at the moment.
Doesn't have to be the star, but he can be.
Yeah, you're right.
But he can be.
Just wait for him to get unlocked. So now with a couple of rounds kind of being spoiled by the clock and this A defense, you have to look at what your prospects are here. One successful round mid to B for G2 so far. Walking into the trio of Chopper, Donk, and Zweih.
Seems like they might try and replicate. Initial lurk smoke thrown out. Part of that is to bait out this util, and now here comes the second salvo. There's still quite a bit available. That could start to get dumped, but here they go. They've got this lip. Nice kill. First one found. Chopper ducked into the corner, and he's overlooked, at least for the moment, but can't hold on. Disadvantage and an immediate save called by Spirit, because these last few rounds have gotten so tense, so nervy, so down to the wire, that their bank has had no chance to build. Despite this 5-1, they know they need to keep the guns alive.
This is so surprising, man. They are walking into a stacked B-bomb site, and the execute is good enough to break it down. The isolated fights right there. Zweih, again, being silenced.
Nope.
Not able to find any damage there. Donk limited to a single frag. Chopper just the same. G2 sustaining nicely.
Pretty much in any round where you can 1-for-1 donk off of this team, you will do it. That exchange rate,
trade.
That's great.
Take that deal.
Donk, the price of the donk, very high right now on the global market. He's charging you like 2 normal players on a regular basis. So if you get a 1-for-1, you snatch that deal right up.
It's a damn good deal. Spirit now calling a timeout. I have to imagine this is to shore up what is a clear vulnerability. Trying to figure out some solutions right now. It is that B side that is the big point of contention here. 2 rounds that G2 have been able to target with 3 players, you know, kind of turtled into the bomb site. That might be where you need to focus up on as well. You know, you can have 3 players stacked up, but you do kind of need to focus your fight on one front. So that means either setting your focus in towards tunnels, but more likely fighting for mid control instead of huddling back in towards the sites. It's oftentimes in a 5v5 a pretty challenging way to hold things together.
I mean, we did see balls out aggression in the pistol. Haven't really gotten it since, but we know. I mean, when you look at the names on this team, they are more than capable. Close pass on the door, but we're not going to get the aggression in this one. Maybe off the catwalk here. Chopper thinking about it. At least tuck some nades, get his opper up on his head, and players to be received. Shiro erases. Nice find. Well called by Chopper or Holly, whoever it was, off of that timeout. That's how you wanted things to start. Now pressure on. Hunter can't find his kill and leaves himself exposed to the AWP. His knees revealing.
Oh boy.
Gotta watch out for those revealing knees. They get the people going.
I cover him up.
What's he, some kind of harlot? Waggling his knees about mid like that.
All these in the server for everyone to see. Malphs has lurked out. And again, when you get to these positions and you don't feel any resistance, you do tend to have time to clear.
2 men, 1 position, and 1 dumpster that separates them.
Oh, he's giving it a hard check. Yep. That's going to go Malph's way. You're going to fall without a kill this time. Oh boy, I do not like Chopper's position. He still threads in a kill with it.
That's the bomb as well.
Flanking up Cat. Yeah, bomb down on the floor. Maddie's trying to find a trade and answer while the rest of the support is arriving here. A missed shot and a spring transfer as quick as can be. Maddie's 2 instant frags. So does the sight fall here. Now zweih on the flank. Able to catch Malphs by surprise. There's time to move towards B, and that's exactly what Maddie's is going to do here.
He's just getting the heck out of dodge. He's getting the heck out of dodge, knowing that he can now define the engagement. That's going to take some time to spot her out, and while he realizes, zweih leaves time on the clock to bring this through. There's the spot, know where he's coming from. It was the expected one, to be fair. Maddie's might want to take the fight. zweih expects this, anticipates this, but eventually he's going to have to move his focus. He's going to have to consider other possibilities. Does he fully commit? Wrapping around. Wow. Shadow exposes, and the patience from zweih leaves plenty of time for that defuse. What a clutch for the young gamer.
Never felt like he was in question right there. Absolutely stone cold from zweih. I mean, knew exactly what the move was going to be for Maddie's all the way through. Crosshair never lost focus even when the smoke drops. You see that big shadow advantage as well. Look at this transfer from Maddie's almost making the round a reality. zweih just able to one-up him there. That's a huge clutch.
This is a strange map of play, right? The scoreline seems to tell a pretty compelling story for Spirit, but we've seen how these rounds have shaken out. And if you're G2, you're thinking, we just gotta break one of these. We just gotta break one of these rounds, and their economy is gonna be in shambles, and we're gonna have the chance to pull ahead. This is still very nervy for Spirit.
No question about it. This one going to be a big question to answer as well. We saw Shiro able to set the tone with 2 optics in the last round as well. Right, a 5v3 looking very favorable. Off the back of that timeout that was called from Spirit, I love the usage of the op to say, hey, if we're having some troubles to deal with mid, have Shiro be the solution. Missed opportunity from some Pious though, as the aggression towards lower tons will be forced off at the very least. Could have started things off with an advantage here for G2. Looks like they might go back to that well here, but instead of Donk being turtled on the bomb site, he's much more focused in on this mid setup.
Bips, pops, hops, boy. Tag, but now danger zone. Minus is able to back away. Smoke up to block.
They were thinking about it. They were thinking about testing Shiro right there, but the smoke and the flash voids him off of this position.
They've got so little now. That's the last smoke deployed. There's one more flashbang for Spirit to work with here. Unless there's something down in spawn, that is all they've got. And this time, it's not 15 seconds of the clock. It is a whole dang 45 they got to deal with.
Waiting for the smoke to fade. They are giving all of Cat control right now and playing a little bit more of a retake-centric setup on Cat. But Donk getting in position in time. He can be the difference maker. Without utility, he can be the point of stopping.
Point man. They're waiting on a late long lurk, but it's not going to be. The flames at the feet will make Donk very uncomfortable, but he swings into action, and this is exactly what we expect from him. They're going to gain ground, but they know they need that kill if they're going to actually make a go of this round. Eventually found, but not before Shiro gets some of his own, and this long combo is too much to overcome. no time again. Some Pies just trying to keep this off alive, and they will do him the mercy of a death before time expires.
Yeah, I'm going to be recovered as well. Their deadly defense coming through from Donk and Shiro this time. Just the right rotation. Donk floating in towards that A side just in time. Shiro able to back him up, and then Tanir, you still have to get through Tanir on the back lines. The insurance policy with the multi. And G2 starting to feel the worst end of that firepower here. That whole talking point again. I'm not a star player right now on this team. Don't need to be. But I can, as you said. And right now he is. 11-3. Every chance he's been afforded here has taken these kills in stride.
So it's back to B. This is where they've had more success, creating that tunnel of smokes here. Flashbang to try and stall them out. Incendiary in to make this very uncomfortable indeed. But it's mostly the tunnel's presence. There's just one element in towards middle and blind it up or no. So I will be able to charge his pound of flesh. Now Chopper still coming into support here by the window. It's all onto some Pies who's looking for a gun, trying to get any sort of upgrade. But while he fumbles, those smokes fade.
Where'd it go?
Where did that AK go?
Go underneath the wall there?
Is it under the car? Well,
he's locked out.
He's really,
he can't
really
find it.
thinking, where? Huh? What?
Look inside the windshield.
Well, that gun, a mystery.
Oh, that's brutal.
Eated over the tin panels.
There's one.
Now a rifle picked up. But so much time cost in trying to find it. First one found. Shiro quick through the doors. No mistake made of this. And while these rounds may be getting close, may be getting nervy, the end result is still spirit after spirit after spirit round. And the arithmetic is starting to look pretty scary for G2.
Matt checks out here for that one. 8-2. So many strong defenses. I mean, you highlighted here, G2 like to run in headfirst at Donk. That's been their winning position so far with their 2 rounds, but everyone else coming through ready to play as well. Maddie's avoiding the flashes. Still good utility being tossed in. Tanir fully blinds up Maddie's with his own flash here. Chase down coming through, and Tanir holds together another. Still fighting while Chopper's hiding inside the pit. Heavy God threads in a couple of his own. We've got a level playing field.
The problem is they still have to contend with the Shiro up, right? And Shiro's going to commit. A little further in towards car. Flames.
Oh my God.
Some safe haven now peering through said flames. Red hot on the scope, and Donk comes in the nick of time to make sure there is no further ground gained.
Yeah, this feels suffocating here. Everyone around the corner, you just keep on contending with deadly pieces here. Tanir to open it up with 2. Great find. Then you turn another corner. There's more aggression. Shiro's sticking his head out with the op as well. And then you finally get past the AWP. And then you have Donk to contend with.
It's just layers, man. It's layers. You've added an extra layer to the brutality of the firepower on this Spirit team with Tanir. One after another. Everyone with massive multi-kill potential. There's a reason we've seen Spirit make mincemeat of the Pro League so far. Chopper, though, will be minced himself. And now, Shiro pretty committed towards the car without a lot of support. That's going to be traded 1-for-1, so this is the most successful A-take yet we've seen from G2. Advantage, still presence here in mid. Tanir's going to clear this out, though. He knows. He knows. Great awareness to set up this retake, and while the bomb will get planted, it'll cost Hunter quite a bit. Is that kill in the smoke? Tanir still finds it. This madman, the newest addition, continues to stack. Back by Goose. It might be Mobs who needs to be the hero because some Pies has no vision for the moment. The smokes guised him off, and Mobs will eventually silence the one, but with just the Galil cannot find further. And the op run down. It's 10 rounds. Double digits for Spirit. A commanding start to this BO3. The 10-2 line belies how wildly competitive each of ththese rounds felt. They went down to the wire, but at the end of the day, the wire kept going the way of Spirit. And that means that we might just have a quick map at Dust2 here. G2 really need to get a pistol if they're going to give themselves a chance to actually show us what they got with the guns.
Yeah, the amount of frustration I just saw in the Spirit cams, I mean, obviously you never know where those are coming from, but 10 rounds did not feel like it equated to the reactions of those player camps.
That is also quintessential Donk, where he feels like he should have done something better, even if they're stomping out the competition.
When there wasn't the 3K on the B-bomb site, maybe.
Yeah, as with many of the greats, hard on himself.
Yeah. High expectations. Oh, they certainly delivered here on Dust2 in the first half.
This is a nice setup if it comes through mid. You've got pistols and dualies, hidden, hunter, first contact to try and draw them in. And a serious trap set for the opponents should they challenge you. Here might come that challenge. Here they go. This has been red and heavy. God, the pistol god in this moment. Donk done. Tenier done. Two players who have ripped you to shreds in the first are eliminated off rip, but you still have to get past Shiro. There's layers to this thing. And Shiro painted into a corner, run down, drops that bomb. So now it falls to zweih. No longer the new guy, but the guy with it all to do. He's got 40 seconds to try and pick this one back up. And while he's taking B, it doesn't help if you don't have the big B of the bomb.
Tried to get a 1v2 clutch here in that first half. Not going to let it happen in the second. As soon as Mouse gets a chance, he's going to put that clutch to rest. First bullet out of his gun. They got the much-needed pistol.
Had to do it, and it seemed like a pure call-out on what they expected Spirit to do, right? This is a full setup designed to bait in that mid-trap and punish it. And it worked. Got exactly what they were looking for. Spirit delivered it to them. And G2 capitalized.
It's the start that they needed. Play up against the Glocks here. 5 of them. Nice smoke. It's the only utility that they have here. Can invite them on in for a nice cozy eco farm. Who's going to be given the gift here on G2? It does feel right that it's Hunter. Go and get yours. He's backing up. He's missing the ecos. You're going to walk right into the east side. Maddie's and Heavy Cut are going to take them all.
They're having some fun. It has dragged utility out. The whole idea of doing this, of doing these time-wasting measures, is just to make sure they don't keep any nades in a round that you don't really expect to get anything.
Yeah, I mean, the only util they have left is a smoke and a molly.
Oh, well.
Brought it down to 0, so I assume they had a lot of that to start. But
Smoke's on the right side. Incendiary, not so much. They're coming towards Sun Pius. And now, indeed, he might be in the right spot. I was thinking this B presence was something, but it's a little bit of a fake to distract his focus, to drag him away. Now his eyes cast down. The catwalk players all die. Completely vaporized. No problem, no flaws, no errors. One casualty. It's fine. Comfortable for Sunny PP.
Sunny PP.
Sunny PP.
So that is
To his friends.
because he's at Pro League. It's Sunny PP.
Sunny Pro Bias.
Yeah.
If he's feeling ripe, he's Sunny Papayas.
Mmm.
Maybe if he's wearing orange.
sweetener. Unfortunately, Sunny P does not have the AWP.
Not yet.
Or one less P.
Keep an eye on that, because I will say the silver lining for G2 is that Sunpies does tend to heat up quite a bit. With that up, playing car, CT side here. Nice find early, take the initiative in their first attempted gun round. Heavy God is in a tough spot, but he's collected on the one, painted into the corner, now support through the door to try and keep him fighting. Great reposition from Sunpius on the trade. Yeah, Shiro might get that assassination, but good luck getting back to that bomb. Two incendiaries to make my point nicely. G2 have locked him out, and they're throwing away the key right now.
Completely boxed out of this one. Good rotations. I mean, even Spirit trying to speed things up towards that B side when that flash play goes on towards Chopper. As you can see, bodies are all contained at the helm of this choke point. That is a complete lockout.
Call them the choke points because they're tough to swallow.
That makes sense. What is a bottleneck?
Well, you seen a bottle?
It's a nice little.
You know how it's wider in the main thing and then it's thinner at the neck?
Yeah. So that's a bottleneck. It's a nice tight choke point.
Shiro's thinking, guys, I've got to wait. Hang on. New approach.
Got all of those reason stickers on the AK. I was kind of hoping that I think there's a Polish squad that was going by reason. I don't think any longer though. Hoping we could get some new reason stickers in the mix.
Give you a reason to buy some?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think that dream is dead. No more reason. Maybe they should have came out to Philadelphia.
Maybe they should have done. Apparently that's where you make a major. Apparently that's where you make a major. Who would have thought? You went back 5 years and you said the way that Fnatic is going to get back to a major is attending not even a numbered Philadelphia, not even one of the big ones, but a Philadelphia Blocktober.
Blocktober.
Crazy. This VRS world we live in.
That's so funny. Yeah, you didn't expect that. But the nice cash prize at the 10K LAN, it's got them some stickers back in the game.
Maybe pays for the flights out there, although apparently, I don't know whether these guys were flying business class or what was going on.
Yeah.
Some discussion about the budget I'm seeing on Reddit, and I'm just saying, guys, I can find you cheaper flights than that. As someone who does the Philadelphia to Euro trip on a regular basis, it's not supposed to cost that much.
You got to get the flights, and you got to get the dinner, and you got to get. You couldn't always take SEPTA.
Take SEPTA. It's actually a pretty affordable city overall. I'm just saying. Work on the budgeting.
I feel a little bit vulnerable right now. Zweih, he finds some quick entries with the AK instead in Donk's hands. He certainly can, and that's the sight cracked open. That's the big concern. You still have Shiro on alert. You still have a player all the way over towards long. Can Shiro do any damage? Threading the needle here on the smokes. He's going to create some distractions here. Crosshairs thrown every which way, and he still finds a kill. Oh, no. Now, Chopper's going to have a tough time closing the distance with the Glock, and they are moving quickly in this retake.
The magic of Spirit. Put an AK in Donk's hands, and you never know what they can do. Back through. Chopper just has a Glock, but that moment of distraction, that might be enough. It sets up Donk to swing, and he exploits it to perfection. I think he said, yeah, bro, let's just drop Donk an AK in every save.
I'm no translator, but that seems like a winning formula. That's for sure.
That's all we need.
Donk knocking down the totem pole. What a win for Spirit to get back on track here for this T side, man. Ripping the hearts out of G2 just when they think the comeback's afforded.
Taken from this is interesting. Knowing that this is your best chance to put them away. Holly getting in their ears. He's got some advice. He's got some sage wisdom. And now he's coming in for some daps, perhaps. There we go. Prime dap for him. Tap on the shoulder. Gotta make sure we've got it in. Good juju. Good energy flowing here. They are laser locked in. Win now. And you only got to think about Mirage.
It's two Deagles here on the CT side. Now, they do have that some pious op that we were talking about, but two Deagles back it up. Heavy got in Maddie's hands.
Strong Deaglers, though. Both players who can do some wild things with those guns.
Oh. Think about the timing here. Has the HE ready to go? Waiting a little bit to let him scale out first. There's the HE. That one going, and a connection on the Chopper for some chip damage. They still will fight for this cat control. Look at where those Deagles are placed here, towards middle it seems. And on the B side of the map. So for now, the Rifler is going to get some attention here soon.
The lack of long control could come back and really cost them. For the moment, it's just Tanier holding outside, but we know how fearless he could be with challenging these positions.
So surprised to see Shiro holding this angle, right? He's nose and oppers on the other end of this mid side. And he's waiting for that exact peak, connects it comfortably. The Eagle baited into a fight. Now he's trying to spam down the opper as well. Look at this position from Hunter. Low HP Chopper gets collapsed on, but there's always a trade around the corner. Donk was so ready to move in on that play. They're going gambling here towards the B side. They're going to start to walk up long and identify the empty setup. And if you're G2, the last thing you want is for this to be revealed. But alert, smoke up, cap multiple of them. This is a decision already made for Spirit.
Yeah, and this is probably going to be a save for G2. Still a lot of danger in this player lower. And that's exactly why Mob's out. One less gun to potentially hang on to. But Heavy got with just the Deagle. He can go looking, and alright, that's one way to recover it. AK picked up. Nade brought on through. How heavy do you want to hunt here, Spirit? They're going to risk Shiro. Shiro wants that up. Hey, can I hold that? Hey, it's my turn.
They're getting everyone involved. Everyone's going hunting here.
Can I hold that?
You're going to want that.
I'm pious.
Oh.
I'm pious. I see it. Give me the up.
Oh. Okay, the HE almost blasted it away.
Oh.
All is recovered, though.
Just popped it right into his hand, so you can grab it.
It's just an easy pickup. Don't have to bend the knees.
Trapper looking nice and rosy there. With all that brain power. Calculating these last couple of rounds. Maybe the shouting might have something to do with it as well.
Shouting might have something to do with it.
That's about what I look like.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, it's not the up.
Shout about.
It's not the up, but it's straight up middle. And some bias is not slowing down. He's feeling bold. Facing every which way, trying to take command here, knowing that this is the last chance for G2. Nada John. A swing on out, and there's that Mob's Deeg we were talking about. Finally showing itself. Gotta be careful about getting sucked into these headshot angles against Deagles for Spirit, because they have immediately started on the back foot here in round 18. I had an extra 10 in there for fun.
Sure. Why not?
It's a treat.
Feeling like this one could be coming to a conclusion, but G2 have other ideas. Hanging in there with Deagles of their own, but what about the 5-7 holding up this B-bomb site? He's getting, not a lot of extra help here. The closest rotate is going to be Hunter.
Audio cue.
Range, he just made some noise. That is a big misstep. Going to have to adjust. And now going to have to trust that Hunter is that support system.
Now, he's faked coming off of this and then gone back to it, so maybe. They do, in fact, clear. Trade is there. Hunter unexpected and follows it up as well. All on the chopper now. Reinforcements are coming quickly. Hunter's just trying to buy time to set up his teammates. And Mobs swings back in. The Deagle to open, the Deagle to close. And G2, they're not done just yet.
Hanging in there. Round by round, looking to piece this one up. And what a start from some bias there. Flying by middle. Not even allowing Shiro to get a shot off in this round. There we have it. A little bit of frustration, not too big of a concern here. G2 using their last time out as they've just been revitalized. The double scout is going to be brought out again.
Worked pretty good.
It did.
Worked pretty good. There's financial limitations.
I guess the op of Shiro dropped in T-spawn. There's no chance to recover that. That is still a scary reality, but one much better than having to operate with 5.7s and Deagles behind it. This time the rifles do come through in consistent fashion. And Donk has his AK, crucially.
I think Senpais is cycling a scout along with a rifle. So they've only got the one scout fully committed, but this next are being bought for potential situations here. In towards middle. Matt is going really bold, trying to fight this through. Now here's this scout to try and provide oversight for him. Keeps him alive for the moment. Nade chucked out for one more peek. But no spot just yet, despite all of that aggressive maneuvering. It's not actually that much to show for it. Now the rifles can be picked up. So no scouts for the final moments of this round, or even most of the moments of this round here, Cole.
Yeah, just to start, I guess we're looking for that kickoff there, trying to back up Matty's with his aggression out towards mid. Having the scopes can help out with that. Donk on the op.
Nice to do damage on a donk. But it's like, oh, okay. We have tacked up donk, now we get op donk. Sure, why not? And rifle Shiro. Oh, yeah, so much easier, guys. Well, now we don't have to worry at all.
Pain train just keeps on rolling here.
Layers, man. Like ogres.
It's nice to stack the firepower. We'll see how the Donk op can proceed throughout this round. He's going to be the caboose of this attack. Not something he's all that used to here, but forward facing his way. Looking to take some charge. Can't find Hunter, but he's burning in the flames. Able to survive for now, but he does burn completely. Chopper collects on that kill and some damage being done by Donk. He's going to force him off, but mobs from long.
Mobs from long. All headshots on. Right now, he's an all-star, and he's going to get his game on, and G2 are here to play now.
Oh my god. 2 quick taps out of the AK right there from Mal's. Not a gun that you want to play up against him with either. It takes full advantage. Look, it barely even has vision right over these headshot angles, and that is sickening. Something about those taps today.
They talk about his one-taps.
Him and Maka.
At least, yeah. Somewhere out there, Scream is smiling. Shedding a single tear.
He would have loved CS2.
Of joy. I think he's been messing with it again. Oh, through the smoke, through the smoke. Speaking of headshots, that wasn't one tap, but it certainly was just as effective. And now this B player is super sectioned out, and they're immediately reacting to it.
He even hears some players fall off of Cat as well, so he's calling it over right now. Quick communication, but the rotation's starting to arrive, and it comes down to Heavy God on the defense.
The lack of armor is the huge issue. He spots the ankle, can't get the nade out, and trying to overcommit to it, loses his life. Now huge danger on. Bomb can be dropped, put on down to the dirt, but they're running out of time for it. Shiro's still an extra element, but he's just totally sectioned out from this, and Tanir doesn't want to plant, not knowing anything about what's going on the other side of these choke points. Nade trade. Tanir chipped away. The Glock from Shiro does find mobs, distracts for a moment, but they're not looking at him at all. They're just going to force the issue here. Now they know they can turn around.
Firm to take charge here. Shiro left into the 1v2, dealt with that range. Hunter closing it out. A huge relief there for G2.
Big exhale. Big exhale. And all that work, all that madness, and no bomb plant even to show for it. That's not going to feel great. You'll have a bye here, but...
And I think that round straight up comes down to thinking Donk's going to miss another Deagle headshot. That's kind of the bet that G2 had to pay off right there. Running around that corner and fighting up against Donk on a headshot angle. And the follow-up Deagle kill doesn't connect, but, I mean, again, that is not something you love to rely on.
Last timeout taken, so this is the last opportunity for Holly to get in their ears. So whatever he's drawn up here.
I mean, he brought over the note sheet.
Last play call.
Chopper, exactly what it was.
From the coach chair.
Both these teams out of timeouts for the remainder.
Op's going for a fast catwalk peek. Sunpius is here. Maybe a boost up. Waits for his teammate to get over there. Yep, that's exactly what it's going to be. Appearance where it's lower. No one's challenging just yet. And you can see the respect that Spirit are showing right now to these aggressive moves. They do not want to risk this op in the early days. Flashbang to force him off the angle. Very nicely done. Now you know where that op was. You can start to form a picture in your mind of where these CTs might be playing.
That's why Sunpius is so shifty here. Already getting the rotates off. Trademark of his game plan. Take a shot and float around the map. Always giving himself a couple of opportunities in these rounds. Such a specialty of his. Trusting that the riflers now could be the ones that deal damage on this catwalk play. The smoke's getting recycled. Not a lot of ground being gained here with 50 seconds left. For the first time, it feels like we're seeing a late long control attempted out of Spirit. They avoid this side of the map like the plague.
They have. It's a fair point. Let's see if it catches G2 off guard. Mobs working his way in towards the pit late. Here comes the flash. Can't dodge that, but he can stay alive, and now he strikes. They were hoping that it might just be clear, but Mobs only holds to the one. Hunter wants this heat. He wants this smoke, and it's Donk on the other end. Headshots dealt out from Goose. Mattis cannot hold on. The site is clear. They just need to cross the bomb, and Heavy Guy will try and deny. But jumping with that MP9 leaves himself exposed, and now it all falls to Sun Pius. We've sung his praises on this map, but he's so far removed. Has to battle back from long. And Shiro, the first boss of this level, can see the gun. But unless Shiro leaves himself overexposed, a fight will not be easy. Patience rewarded onto the rifle. Headshot onto the next. Sun Pius starting to make his way forward, and the sun will rise. Oh, night falls. One more. Chopper brings curtains onto Dust2.
A little bit of that column head right there from Chopper to seal it on up. A panic in the 1v4. So Pius breaks it down, but Spirit will still pass the finish line. Just at the final hurdle, needing to take down Sun Pius there, saving the day.
I was working it. I had to run an errand towards the end of regulation, so I had to leave the arena because I was done with my work obligations. Went, did that, came back, game was still going. I sat down and watched basically another game of Counter-Strike with you all up in the nosebleeds. And that was an iconic moment for me. An iconic moment some of these players were involved in. We'll see if they can create some moments now as we dive into Mirage. G2 gonna need to find their footing, gonna need to find their backbone in this one.
Which is Sun Pius would not like to play another million rounds of Counter-Strike. He would like to play another map.
Yeah, he might if he wins. And it is Ancient if we get through to the third.
There you go.
I think he'd take...
He'd take whatever he can get.
If he gets the dub.
See the start of this pistol not going their way all that well. zweih continuing to find impact, and it breaks down again. More rolling through out of the support staff here, and zweih finding them all. 3 kills to crack things on open. Head first into the A site. And Maddie's left, dazed and confused. He has a smoke. I don't know if there's a kit on the ground, but it's not going to matter as Tanir opens up the last here. And G2 absolutely stunned in the opening phase.
No doubt there. All smiles for zweih. Team heaping some praise his way. That was just a clinic put on. Dip and dive and pirouetting with the Glock. At the end of the day, those pistol rounds do come down to headshots, and this is maybe one of the best teams in the world for those. G2 some headshotters on the other side, and this time they've given Mobs the Deagle.
The Deagle, they've got the double scout.
That was a critical error.
The calculation.
Oh, critical error here might be. Hunter.
Missed shot. A little bit of motion there. So he just takes some damage, not fearing. Despite the late mount up on that perch there. Still fighting forward. I mean, this aggression is really impressive here from G2, considering they spotted the amount of presence early on, but they're going to take full control of apartments. Now, how quickly is Spirit going to scale out towards this A side? Because the rotates are starting to flow on out. They can get a stacked bomb site. That could be a huge relief. And smoke's going to buy time. See how good these flashes are from Shiro. He's lining up the lampers. Those could be deadly for this exact position from Heavy God. But now everyone getting involved. 4 players there. 1 flanking up. Knife out for Shiro. Right in the open arms of Maddie's. Now they know they're walking into the stack. And now this creates a lot of hesitation.
Actually disassembles it a little bit, but this is interesting. Hunter's going to creep back through with the scout if he comes through the murder hole. Doesn't want to do that. A little too exposed. Mobs with a nice find. That's that Deagle in effect. Nade to keep him away. But maybe a sacrificial pawn here to still lure them into this trap. Scout on the angle. Can't get it done. 5-7 will. 15-2. There's no time. You're absolutely right. They have to cross that bomb, and that means Mattis, if he drops it, this could be everything. Shot goes just wide, and now a headshot delivered. Bomb ticking away. Round reset. It falls to this man to be the hero. Shots through smoke over the top. It's so down to the wire. But Tenier, the one standing tall.
I mean, again, you look at zweih in the pistol. You look at Tenier bouncing back in this round, bailing them out of what is a disastrous situation. 20 seconds left before they can move out of A main. They get smoked on the flank. Nothing given out of the choppers lurking towards middle, and Tenier has to make his way through Palace and find all these kills. Just a complete bailout of a huge challenge for Spirit, and they answer the call. It's going to be another force buy. Intensity from G2, not willing to let off the gas here. They go right back to the well. See what they can make work here on this full investment. Went down to a 1v1 in the last here, so they know they win it. They break the economy.
It's a big prize, but I mean, as we saw on Dust2, there were so many of those rounds where you felt like you got it right down to the wire. This Spirit team is very hard to put away. You think you've got them. You think you have them up against the ropes, but that's just where they want you, Cole. They want to be backed into a corner. That's where they fight the strongest.
Then you force buy again. Then you'll have Mosses versus the Donk AK. That, of course, is going to be prioritized. Question about that.
Scary thing indeed. I do wish we had live translation of that Shiro line, because I think it pretty much was give him an AK and we win.
I heard the
Clash?
Yeah, Clash.
That's what I heard as well.
And yeah, I assume that's at least a good assessment there, because that's what happens when he has that weapon. It is instant. Your scope doesn't matter. There's a lot riding on this lurk here, coming through from Chopper and Shiro backing it up. The attention split every which way, and it could be flawless here. Matty switching his crosshair all every which way there as well, and Shiro, the one to finish it up. And that one's flawless.
That one's flawless. That one's a slaughter. You're not going to be able to justify these force buys anymore. And there's no more early frustration for Donk. He's beaming, looking across the smart glass at old G2, because this one is going off without a hitch. We've got an eco around here. We've got some Deagles out. Keep an eye on said Deagles. But I'm also going to cast my eyes into the mailbag. Got a little message here from a David. I remember my dad bringing Treasure Planet on VHS back when it was newly released. That was definitely one of the things that shaped me into the astronomy lover that I am today. Great memories. It's a good movie. Whole planet out there.
Good word for it. I haven't seen a lot of these movies.
We have a player stacked up. Do you watch movies, like, ever?
Not as a kid. I didn't watch that many movies.
All right, hold on. We got a TV show for you. This one coming through from Jackson. Not necessarily a movie, but my family, especially my father and I, watched SpongeBob religiously while I was growing up. While I was dating my now wife, I learned that her and other families I know weren't allowed to watch it, which was mind-boggling. You gotta watch out for that corrupting influence. SpongeBob.
Yeah, well, we all know SpongeBob.
Were you a SpongeBob guy?
Yeah, I did like SpongeBob as a kid.
Okay, we're getting TV shows. We're figuring Cole out. Here comes a little bit of a play towards B. There are numbers here. There's
oh my god!
He is so ridiculous. And another headshot dealt out. Haircuts from Donk. Let's hit some taper fades. Hunter overlooked. Waiting for the headshot. Whoa! But Tenier is so aware.
Why is he clearing that? Why is he clearing that, Tenier?
Well, that's why.
Why are you clearing that?
The gears are turning in his head. He's thinking about what's the one way we could possibly lose this round. Hunter on the box.
Hunter on the box. That one's got to be so infuriating for Hunter there. You have all the time in the world, and then someone just goes and blows up your play.
Here's another one. This one coming through from a young Revs, who started with hashtag Who Remembers. Except the problem with the hashtag is they all blend together. So it could also be hashtag Whore Members.
It could be that, yeah.
It could be that. I don't know what he's going for. But shouts out Herbie Lovebug. Series of movies. Not familiar with those. And Chicken Run.
Sounds
Chicken
made
Run
up.
I do like.
Sounds made up, the first one.
I think he might be making stuff up.
I liked Bug's Life. If that's close.
No. These are stop motion movies.
Oh.
Good awareness.
That's brutal.
You think you're going to get away with one if you're Hunter? Now, boom, thoughts dash from your head. So this one is not feeling like Dust2 anymore, where everything was just oh so close and they couldn't crack through. Starting to feel a little far, a little distant. Guns are out, though. Op is out for some Pius, and here's where we can see them take back control.
Flash is flying out towards middle here. Mouse is trying to take a duel. And just getting by there is Donk, but he gets by one angle, he's going to swing for the next. Waiting for his teammates to toss in some flashes here. Mouse is going to oblige a fight. He's also got to worry about this attention that he could draw through underpass. And that internal clock starts to tick and say, hey, I'm in danger. So Pius is going to try and fill this position, though. MVP that wasn't seen earlier is going to strike on this way. So an opening pick going in the way here of G2. A huge relief for now. She lied about jumping in towards window.
It's a nice control here. Shiro's got the bomb. Slips an underpass.
Yeah, that is some really good discipline. If he turns the corner there and drops...
Oh.
Story.
He's going back.
Fight. That's a bomb on the floor.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And Spirit, no one's in position to reclaim it, right? You're going to bring Tanir back from spawn to get back through? You're going to bring Donk up the underpass? I mean, how are you even going to approach this? You'd have to come way down off. Mobs is now taking top mid. I don't know how you get back in this for Spirit. The routing, not so ideal, and so a flank on, Donk down. This could just turn into a save purely off of positioning.
I don't really know if Chopper likes his positioning here.
He's in the middle.
They did hear someone jump in towards window, so as you can see, everyone's huddling.
Sometimes you gotta hide yourself right under their nose, and they'll never expect it.
Right where they know. Counter-terrorists win. But they'll never give it a go.
It was that reround. I don't know what called Shiro back. I don't know whether he was just setting up a little util for a fake, whether he was trying to set up the flash to get Donk further up in towards B, something along those lines. But
I think it's the fact that Donk's up cat, and that's what can make a round possible right there, is the access up catwalk, and then you have a split mid to B. You have Chopper in a position where he can lurk through the window room and catch them by surprise. You'd expect Chopper to be drawing in attention with his loud jump in towards window, so I could see a world where if there wasn't that level of aggression from Maddie's, it would be a much more interesting round there, but instead, fully telegraphed with the bomb on the floor.
Are you old enough to remember VHS tapes? Did you have VHS tapes growing up?
Yeah, like, I think Lion King was the only movie I ever watched on VHS.
Just one. That's crazy.
Yeah.
We used to...
Lots of DVDs. I think we did have some Blockbuster VHS tapes.
Okay, here we go.
Remembering correctly, I remember the nice, like, white packages. I'd like to open and shut those.
Yep. Very satisfying, the movie rental ones. Yeah, bring back the video store, man. We used to go, like, a weekend plan when my brother and I were young, is we got to go to the movie store. We rented one movie. We went to... There was a candy store next to it. Got some candy. Molten milk balls in particular. Ate the candy. Watched the movie. Great Friday night. Probably shut us up for long enough for my parents to get some relief.
Good old Blockbuster.
I think we rented Fern Gully about 1 million times. Kids like repetition for some reason.
SpongeBob was so good. Knew the formula. The formula of this ace execute here. Smokes are in. Already aggression flying out of the palace for Zweih, but a trade from Tanir. Doubling down here. Dealt with some Pius on the op here. And they are locked out. The Smokes outside looking in. Malbus takes a nice healthy chunk of damage, and I think they've got their answers made for them of falling back before they can ever even plant their feet, try for a retake. They are already shut out, and Tanir's aggression, opening things up again on this A side, is enough.
Sometimes even if you know the formula of an A take, there's a reason. It's a classic. It works. Subtle variations create that room, and then when you got a guy like Tanir, he's starting off with a little 7-1 action. You just keep it rolling through here.
Feeling very similar to the first half there of Dust2, where so many different pieces can get involved. You have Zweih on the pistol, striking fear into their hearts with the aggression. Then he just dives out of palace, sacrifices his life, sets Tanir up for success, who continues to look like a star. And looking pretty cool with the sleeves rolled up there.
It's a good look. When he hits the gym, he actually only does shoulder pumps to specifically be able to flex that spot.
That's why you have to cover up the rest of your arms and just leave the shoulders showing.
Or you could put like the like a Superman costume, inflatable muscles under the sleeve.
Yeah, that could be the move.
Speaking of SpongeBob, inflatable arm episode, classic.
Yeah, where his arms, what is he, inflates it too much and they end up blowing off?
They eventually pop, yes.
Yeah.
I don't remember why, but yes. Muscle Man. Randy Sponge Savage.
Hold the bob. Hunter bobbing is weaving his way up in towards catwalk.
They got something to work with here.
Good positioning here, and again, it's going to be a collapse towards middle. And she's doing some early damage, but Donk is deleting him. 2 quick kills to open things up from Cat to Connector. And it's a 3v5.
This is something we'd highlighted at times. G2 have been very willing to challenge Donk on those initial mid-fights, but it is a risk. There's a reason teams don't necessarily like to tango here. And at this point, we might be seeing another save. Mattis tries to commit, but forced back out through that choke point. His teammates nowhere close and showing no appetite for the rotate. This bomb is down, ticking away. And G2 trying to pull the plug on another round. They're backing off of this. It's all spirit in this first half of Mirage. It's feeling like Dust2 all over again, and yet somehow even worse this time.
Still stuck on a lonely 1 round so far. And now you have Donk just taking initiative out towards middle. See this again. HE landed for a lot of damage, and it just gives him enough visual. On top of that, I think there were some flashes over connected that landed a little late as well for the side of G2. So if you're trying to thread in that timing on your aggro, both players are down before that flash pops. Donk's blind, but he's already got 2. Is that 3D Max? They're poking their heads, seeing what's going on. Watching Donk run it down middle.
So that's what it looks like. Live
That's what Maka did in the train.
I've seen this script before. What do you do here? The op's going to be on Catwalk this time. All right, so here's the variation to try and defend mid. They're going to put more resources here. Malb's also looking to bring the fight. He's had a rougher go of this one. And it is Donk on the other side of this. Waits out the initial utility and slinks right back into the top boxes.
That's 2 mollies spent towards top boxes to avoid this exact reality, and they just still get an opening duel. So much utility. What about a 3rd molly? I countered that with a smoke. So it doesn't even flush him out of position. All of this hard work from G2 spent on dealing with this problem. They take half his HP for the troubles. Now scaling in towards B. There is Sunpai still ready to go with the op. There's a rifler around the corner, but the rotations being cut off right now make their lives difficult. And if you're Spirit, you don't necessarily have to commit just yet.
No. You still got a minute to play with. And you still got Chopper, who's making some increase on A. Well, those have been answered. Now you might need to commit. Your options are somewhat more limited.
Now's the right time to commit.
You don't have any flashbangs.
Oh, the smoke's called him off. That is crazy. They have potentially missed their window, if not definitely have. Shear's waiting out the smoke right now. Donk's going to get re-cleared towards middle. Maddie's catching it by surprise, but he still wins the duel, man.
Ow.
That's just not fair.
Oh, this guy's ridiculous.
It was supposed to be the way they recover this round. Instead, it's just a deeper hole they have to dig themselves out of, and some Pius has to be the one.
It's just the
shovel of
cheat
dirt.
code sometimes. You make the right call, you find him, and it still just doesn't matter. Some Pius, if he finds a kill, it can prop open the door of this retake, but it still takes so much time for Heavy God to link up with him. It seems like they're going to risk this. Time's of the essence. They have kids. No smokes, and Ashiro finds the first. Some Pius is going to back away once more. You call him out, you call his shot, and he still finds the headshot.
They did so much to try and deal with him. They put pretty much an all-in play to try and flush him out of top mid. They throw 2 mollies, even a 3rd, an HE for the troubles to try and get him out of the round. And he walks away with 2 kills, only to die in the closing statement with his knife out.
Got a fun fact from Jonas over on the Observing. Apparently, in German, SpongeBob is not SpongeBob SquarePants. He is SpongeBob Spongehead, which feels a little redundant.
He does have a sponge head. That is.
I think in French he's Bob l'Éponge, which means
That's
Bob
fire.
the Sponge.
That's fire. Yeah, sponge head, I'm not so sure about.
SpongeBob Spongehead is a lot. Might make more sense.
Oh my
Donk
god.
is about to be Donk no head for you. Spongy is the way that they feel as he slices right through them.
Like a hot knife through a sponge.
Stinky.
Stinky?
It's not like if you put a hot knife through a sponge. Heavy God is frustrated. He's done with this. There's so many rounds where G2 just don't even get to think about getting involved.
It's a dirty sponge?
Perhaps. And this is Tenier now just running them down merciless on this. Some pious a gift, an absence, but he's just wary that Tenier could be right around the corner. Probably wants to get back to that op eventually, but trying to keep them from being able to hunt him right down up on in meets his demise. Thoughts of those close first half rounds on Dust2 are quickly leaving my brain because this one's looking like a straight up stomping.
They've been able to deal with Donk in the last 2 rounds, but it's been in the exit stage of these rounds when it all doesn't matter. They're chasing fool's gold. Last time out, called out by G2. Last chance to get Saul involved to try and right the ship of this CT side that has given them no grace. And you think about what that means in your second half. If you don't have any timeouts to try and figure out what you're going to do with this T side for an IGL that's pretty fresh into the next, I mean, usually that's such a relying factor here to have Saul's input midway through, and that's just not going to be a luxury.
I think it's correct, though, because you're not going to have any T rounds at this rate.
No, it's the right call for sure, but it is amplifying the challenge that G2 face here.
For sure.
See if those timeouts provide any relief here in this round. Right now, it's more of the same. Donk activity towards mid. You cause a lot of commotion. G2 are willing to fight head on. And usually he walks away with an opening goal. It's going to continue. The main train does not stop rolling. It feels like same old, same old. Now Maddie's under fire, and the reinforcements on this B side are holding it together.
They are indeed, at least for the moment, but you still have to tackle Tenier. He's low. Donk's low as well, but we know what these guys can do. Insta headshots is the name of the game. There are 3 players out for G2, but still a lot of work remaining. Hunter has the right idea. Containment. And Heavy God, the only healthy man on the server, has gone on a mission to reposition. Donk working his way all the way around the map. There's 50 seconds. There's still lots of time on this. And so for the moment, it seems like Tenier just needs to wait. But the question is, whose mission comes to fruition quicker? Tenier backing away. This is a risk.
If he goes down towards underpass, though, that is the perfect call. And silently inching his way in towards underpass. But now Heavy God routes his cutoff point. He's not going to be allowed to pass here.
The problem is Donk's just found so much space. That's almost going to be false comfort. Oh, he's rerouted. They're going to pinch B? There's only 20 seconds. This analysis paralysis might cost them. And as Donk falls, now you've got nothing. Now for Tenier, it might just be a desperate attempt to try and plant that bomb, but a player out towards Van, no way, no window, no how.
It's coming down to the help on the B bomb site coming through quickly. Because again, they lose more towards middle. They put the resources, they put the fight out to deal with Donk, and some Pius dies early.
I wonder if the puzzle there was that as Donk chewed up so much real estate without seeing something, he thinks the player has to be in towards Palace.
Yeah, I mean, that's it's definitely a logical assumption. I mean, that's what I would expect walking into a very open A bomb site. That's the general assessment. You're probably expecting them to be in towards A main or Palace. That's a very common move for the CT side. So you're calling the A side clear, but you know there's probably some semblance of resistance. But yeah, definitely a surprise. You also, again, have to worry about all of middle. being open for the taking. But you know you faded off of that position. Lots to think about in that round for Spirit.
Much to ponder.
Had a chance to take advantage off the back of those openings that Donk has provided. Just couldn't trade it out towards B. I think that's the real gut punch of that one. Feels like the game plan according to their vision. But G2 strike back with the B side resistance. And if B side doesn't work, they'll have Donk lurk about here towards middle, try and take these early duels. We'll go back to the well of these A executes that have worked off the back of the tier openings.
Got a lot of space. He's got an up con, looking for that fight. Hunter's so wary about it, just gonna smoke this off, give himself some cover to fight from. Good flashbang, good combo. Start things off before Spirit can take the initiative. G2 making active moves. Got a little bit of comfort, but are they expecting a second player out the ramp? That's the big question. It's Shiro on the op. Know the position. Tanir starting to find the casualties as well. And now Donk gets active.
How did he win that fight?
The health is low, but they just keep killing. The bomb exposed. That was the must win. Donk has 1 HP. He's got an op. But he's lost track of Mattis. Wants to retrieve that bomb. Can't rotate off of this. Not enough time. Not enough seconds on the clock. Sand dripping out of the hourglass. Donk tries to play the waiting game. Mattis slips in towards the steps. He expects to rotate towards stairs. Mattis just needs 1 bullet to secure this round. Spots him coming off, but there's a shot off the off. Now Mattis is down and finger on the trigger quicker. 1 bullet to win it. It's the rifle to find. It's G2 with just a few rounds to give them a chance.
They're going to need it. As you said, they build up these timeouts time and time again. They've used them all in this first half to try and give them as much runway on this CT side. And Tanir does it again here. Another 3K out of Palace for him. Almost making it possible, but I think Shiro ran into his molly. You have Donk on 1 HP, just can't convert. Not enough health there, closed out, ripped away by G2. And all you need is a little bit of ground underneath you. 2 wasn't enough, but you almost pulled through a successful comeback. They find anything extra. This time it's Chopper flying towards middle and finding the opening duel.
Look, whichever way we slice it, whatever way this round goes, it's still going to be a nightmare half to try and build on for G2. But you're right. It's just enough. It is, you tell me there's a chance, then there's a chance. Base in towards middle. 4 would look a whole lot better than 3, though.
That's what yeah, absolutely. Getting this last one would be a nice little momentum stopper from Spirit, who were claiming these rounds with ease as well. Now you're making it difficult. It's coming down to clutches. But this one looking like it's more of the same. Tanir
overlooked.
The timing? I mean, he is overlooked here. Does time it out well, but can't quite claim Heavy God. Not just yet. Sticks to his guns, though. Won't be able to topple him over. Now they know this is their chance to strike. Molly in towards Underbalk. Flashes out. And the smoke's not coming through just yet, but they're all distracted on middle right now.
Here comes the hit. They're focused up. That does allow a lot of room for these Pals players to start to make inroads, and here they go. Here's the crunch. Both players here. First one collected. Tanir, though, was the wounded man. Chopper wants to make some ground. 30 seconds. Time is a bit of a pressure and twirling every which way. Mattis is finding the damage that he needs. That bomb's dropped by the stairs. It all falls to Chopper. How has this one come apart? It's come apart at the hands of Mattis. Now you have to brave the op, and 1 more shot through. That 4th is found of 4 kills from the 4th man. Mattis rocking in. of celebration over on the Spirit side, but just enough of a comeback here for G2 to give themselves a little ledge to stand on. Just a little one, Cole.
Yeah, they are able to hang in there. Again, another one of these situations where they showed us in that first map is second half's definitely come back. Well, this one going to be challenging though. Have to do it on the T side. And Tanir heated up again, rocking with these pistols, continuing the fight. Has to deal with so much attention, splitting it every which way. And Donk's still finding a way to fight there from the B side as well. Shutting them out of this round here. Zweih getting involved, and Heavy got left last man standing. No armor. He just gets chewed on up. And Spirit have got themselves a 9th.
Well, if you're a G2 fan watching this and you were thinking, there's a chance, there's a road, it just got a little darker. The lights are getting turned out. There's some typing going on. Don't know what that's about. Hopefully nothing too serious.
Doesn't seem like we're pausing.
Seem to be getting underway. There's a little bit of familiarity between these two players. I know Tanir and Mattis were having a little friendly banter during that initial tech timeout. So maybe all fun.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Tanir and Pius also old teammates. For that matter.
Once upon a time. Not such a long time ago. Chopper gets a deagle bullet to the chest for his efforts. But the utility coaxed out. Hunter will back away.
Donk wants some ecos.
Hunter with the only deagle in this particular round. 1 HP. Somehow gets away from the Glocks.
4 Glocks.
Oh boy.
They did 99 damage.
Fell for the trap.
And he got away. That's brutal.
Gonna feel real bad if you can't track that kill down at any point in this round.
I mean, I imagine he's just gonna hide at this point. Yeah, Donk gonna be the one that's gonna feast. Zweih alongside him with the MP9, farming some cash as well, and they don't get anything. Shiro escapes the trap with some bruised ankles and be able to walk away.
Leave it to Donks to still make an eco 3K in mid look kind of cool. Whipping out the sidearm for the last.
He had to give him a fair
that?
fight here.
Yeah, they gave me 2 guns. 20 and 8, if you were wondering, for a status check. Tanir not far behind, 15 and 5, and with those 2 alone, you got a pretty ferocious amount of kill output here.
Like, it just felt like Donk towards the top of middle. Tanir, every time he was lurking about in Palace. Yeah, he can get some kills, man. It's so deadly. This time, though, Tanir is sidelined. Donk trying to join up here, but too much resistance towards middle.
It has to happen here. Bulbs. Peering over the smoke. Hide his eyes for the moment.
Oh boy, this is some good re-aggression from Zweih, though. Taking space back, gonna get punished. He absolutely will. Heavy God goes and takes his kill towards top mid. Spidey senses tingling and goes and checks the flank for another. Zweih was trying to make a play to win the round and pull back that deficit. And now they're going for a big gamble stack. This is an understandable assessment here from Spirit. We'll see if it pays dividends.
Recognition of how big a cushion they have. Surprise Chopper's going for this much of reposition. They're not just sticking with the 3. But he wants to have some ability to impact the round if it heads towards A. Actually committing on in here. Could get caught in transition as that smoke fades. He slips closer to the ramp.
Can at least target Heavy God. Oh, nope. Heavy God will deal with him. Headshots will do. MP9 gets nothing. Save is going to be called.
Nice round out from Heavy God. Heavy's the god that holds the AK.
That's what they say. That's how the saying goes.
I've heard it.
Heavy God bringing in 3 easy entries. I feel like, again, there was a vision there from Spirit to collapse in on middle. But Tanir, jump of the gun, gets caught first and probably called out. Donk, if you want to test that 1v4, be my guest. I mean, you might be the guy for the job, but seems like a challenging fight to win it all. So Donk will survive this round. So will Shiro with the op, but Spirit kind of forced back a little bit here, and this is where G2 can start the conversation for the clawback. Had to happen on the gun round. Heavy God brings it. Ooh, that's some big.
Someone's having a good time.
The A stream.
Just a little check in there, Cole. What's happening?
Let me give it a go here. Yeah, Mr. Being Young is the most recent search in my history there. Mouse versus Falcons going on, so I assume there was just a big round there, maybe a big clutch.
Okay.
That just happened. Yeah,
pop off.
In 1v2. Yes.
We got mobs right now. Ooh. Dealing with Donk in towards middle, looking for another on the catwalk. Zweih quickly in to repair that. Heavy damage done though. So a 1-for-1 and a little bit more. You like that. And now they're kissing in the smoke. Tanier realizes it burns, but neither one can find their target. And they'll have to back away from that one.
Somehow still a 4v4 despite all the damage done. Shiro trying to keep his attention turned every which way. And a boosted towards window happening again here.
Oh. Shiro
that gives it up.
Wait, he leaves.
Hunter gonna step up on the perch here, so wherever this play does end up heading, he can have that late cutoff. Even though it was heard, he could spring into action anytime, but it is going to require maybe a little bit more emphasis on the teammates rather than that element of surprise. Smoke in towards window. This can allow Hunter to crawl in for a more sneaky position. Chopper tasked with dealing with this. Play going to lean up on the catwalk. Shiro, the sole defender with an AWP, has to split his attention between cat and apartments. It's a big challenge here for an opper.
Utility to make him uncomfortable. Not able to land the first shot. Chopper with a kill elsewhere, but with this bomb going down, pretty good scenario for G2. Spirit could certainly risk this, but with all the players rotating the long way around.
I mean, Zweih a little too low, right?
Yeah, I don't think they have the appetite for this one.
Not going to give it a go. Enough damage done. G2 able to set the tone.
They have this huge cushion to play with as well for Spirit, so they're trying to keep this economy going for as long as possible. And whoo-wee! Spike that kill in the window. It was just Shiro, that big domino that had to fall. You take out Donk, you take out Shiro, you're going to have a pretty good time. The load-bearing columns of this Spirit roster. Though I say that. Been Tanier today.
That it has. Been able to show a little bit of that star power that he's able to bring. Have a whole lot in the firepower department for him. See if he can continue that conversation. The gun that he's able to hang on to. Still another buy-in, but minus an op for Shiro. Had some limited opportunities in that last round to get much shot off there. Now Sampai's trying to use his op, dancing around the smoke there in the top of mid. Tanier will open up proceedings. And Sampai's already hitting the deck. A 4v5, finally an advantage here, and Shiro going to take it for more. Playing on the edge of the window seal. But Matty's has just opened up proceedings towards this A side, giving them a new avenue of approach, and they want to commit to it. Malbus cuts off another in the meantime, towards the top of mid, didn't expect a third. Taking in the flames here is Matty's. They still have bomb down in towards A ramp, so Malbus has to go and recover that. The question is, the smoke's going to fade away. Brilliant HE, doing even more damage. In this 3v3, they're getting stuck in towards CT spawn. A follow-up smoke as well to scale into the site. Without too much fight here. Is there a flash? There is, absolutely. Flashman goes around the corner, but Chopper jumps it. Oh, it was a smoke. They tried to fake it out.
All right.
A little bit of deception, but doesn't quite work out. And it's going to be another save from Spirit. The CT side, even with the man advantage this time, it goes awry.
All those smiles starting to fade off the faces of Spirit here. As we were wondering if G2 had really given themselves enough to make a game of this, but suddenly, mass is changing.
It's a 5v3, actually.
We're knifing flower pots in frustration. The poor flowers. Thinking not again.
Shattered. Like the dreams of taking an 11th round.
Suddenly brought to the air, right next to a whale.
That's a really tough clawback, but Matty's able to make it possible. 5v3, it feels like that could have been their cue to start getting back into these gun rounds. Instead, they just have to fade away. The feeling of concession round after round has to be weighing on Donk as well. You have to wonder when he's going to put the pressure on himself here to unleash. Hops in the server and it's on the right spot. Shiro, ready to go as long as these flashes are good though. They can still bypass this.
There's those flashes. And he's completely bypassed indeed. Fully blind. Now the Molotov going over. Bodies dropping left, right, and center. It is just this one man in the smoke. Tanir, a 5'7". No armor behind it. If a bullet contacts him, he might just be done. Shots fired over, but not quite on the right angle. Heavy God's wary that something could be afoot here. Some tomfoolery. And now that Tom has been fooleried indeed. Rifle reclaimed.
Oh, man.
And Tanir causing problems. It's Donk and Tanir now just the one. No armor behind this, but headshots aplenty. And mobs will face from distance. Keep him at bay. A 4th kill found, an 8th for G2.
Last timeout called from Spear. Now there is a chance here on this T side. Doesn't feel like it's all that necessary, but Saul will be able to have his say in the mix. Trying to continue this rally of rounds from G2. Perfect execution. The flashbang setup from Malbs. The opener from Subpius. And then it's all Malbs downhill. Completely encapsulating the A site. One by one. And it's just 2 rounds to close the distance. This CT side, outside of the pistol, and the following. It's been nothing but G2 on the gun rounds. No matter how these rounds start. Last chance for either one of these coaches to get involved in regulation.
All on the teams now. All on the 5 in the server for either side. A small tough initially, but a smoke to follow it up.
Right now we're seeing what can be so deadly about this G2 squad. Even when rounds start off right, feels like there's so many different options. You can walk out A with the trust that Heavy God and Mattis have been able to provide. Fights towards middle here have been going up in the way of Malbs as well, so Spirit are looking for a silencer. Looking to eliminate these isolated duels. They put Donk in connector here. Trusting in the fight. They're going to collapse. Smokes come through. This is going to cue up the aggression. Everyone here on the CT side ready to fight. And a lineup with the FAMAS. zweih and Tanir also getting involved. And Subpius left scratching his head as to how he recovers this one in a 1v4. Missed shot from Shiro. But Subpius getting all the way through while also having to recover this bomb feels impossible.
Yeah, that's a masterstroke call out of the timeout. If you were to use your last space in this one, Subpius, if you could do damage, it'd matter. Would love to keep this op alive, but that doesn't really seem like a remote possibility right now. Oh, creeping, and it's Tanir to put the final nail in his coffin. Explode play in towards mid, waiting for G2 to fill that space, and then slamming in on top of them.
Just perfectly timed up there. Chopper threading into the aggression. You couldn't ask for a better lineup. And the crosshairs had to be turned everywhere as Connector and Cat were both being split between 2 players on each prong. Now Tanir moving on up to 20 and 8. Impact he brought in the last round. Finally getting them on 11th. And G2 feeling the pressure right there. You saw the frustration in Hunter. Individually not really able to activate just yet. But it's calling the shots well enough to get them back involved into this T side. But is that going to slow them down any? Finally a round loss on the guns. And it does so in confident fashion. Shiro, have to imagine, could be flashed off here.
They still got all the tools they could possibly want, right? So still every opportunity, but Shiro with the chance to fire. Gets away as well. Can't chase that kill. Heavy God taking space instead. It's way just around the corner.
He's been caught here on this A side. That's what cost him the last advantage they had. And it feels like Heavy God has silently made it past his crosshair. He thinks it's safe on the right side of his screen, but that's not the case whatsoever.
And be a smoke to dump as well, not even an incendiary, so stopping power not massive there. A smoke will go up preemptively, well deployed. Might buy him extra time. Mid has been conceded, but it cost them Hunter's life. And now as Mobs looks to work his way in towards the window, they'll have to test Shiro once more. He backs off. 3 players structured up here on the A site. It's the first spot to swing out the punish as Donk just continues to slide his way into kills. 2 players left, 20 seconds to try and put these pictures together. The bomb needs to be reclaimed, and Mobs 1-for-1's just not enough. Heavy God, no chance, no way, no how. All Donk.
I mean, just obviously a sleeping giant in this CT side, finally to become awakened and able to strike for the 4K. In connector, taking everyone down, helping out with that A-side defense. Absolute fearless CS right there. Every chance he can get threading in this damage. And that's how they get on the 12, and that's the gut punch right there. You look at the economy situation here for the side of G2, and it is exactly where you want them. Single AK, Sampaias has it. Everyone else rocking with pistols. They gotta make do. zweih giving him another early fight, though. Sampaias might be set up perfectly. zweih giving him a hard clear and a labored spray that will leave an advantage here for now, but the HE will chase him down.
Chance to make it through here. The easiest path yet for Spirit to move on into the playoffs.
Oh boy.
This season of the ESL Pro League, but a timely reposition, at least for G2, invites Mattis in. Chopper will come back to it. He's gained some purchase here. His teammates are coming to join him. It is going to be the intention. They're going to group up. Flashes to assail the site. Chopper with just a smoke to try and block.
Seeing the extra help, though, get involved. Shiro going to rotate his up.
They're swapping. This could be the timing. This could be the moment, right? They're moving off. You thought he was coming for reinforcements, but no. They're pulling further back, and now Chopper run down. Flames at his feet. Tanier back out the market, but cannot get the kills. This bomb has made its cross. It will be planted. And we've seen a willingness to pull the plug earlier. Spirit, I don't know that they have the appetite for this one. Shiro's backing away. Donk's thinking about it. The health is so low, we can see. But they just have no information at this point about where these players are on the site. Donk may just be playing contain.
The only way that they win that right there. Maddie's chasing it down with a P250 to open that site. They're going to be contained here. They could lose everything. Donk ready to go. That bomb damage is going to do a lot, and Donk's going to have himself a good old time lining up these low HP bars. He'll take everything with him. One last fight. No one survives the round, but G2 going to survive the fight on here on this map of Mirage.
Even when you win, Donk still finds a way to make you lose. This time, all your money, all your cash, all your guns. There is no avoiding this man right now. He will find you. He will run you down. And though he can't tilt the round, he sure can make it hurt.
And again, no relief here, no timeouts, no chance to get a breather. It's straight back into the swing of things here with the limited utility. They've got to keep the pace high here on G2. Flying up catwalk. Donk does it again here, looking for the multi, but shut down by Maddie's. That's where Shiro goes down with a chase. And Mouse double entries deals with Shiro as well in a pinstripe. The feed here, 2v2. And more opportunities here for G2 to close this thing out. Chopper already involved. They didn't expect it.
He falls to Hunter. You highlighted it before. He's been good on the calls, but he hasn't had to do it as an individual. Now it's all him. No more pieces to manipulate around the map. Just a Khalil and no eyes on jungle right now. He backs into Tanier. Finds himself safe haven into the corner. It's Chopper who will have to tap that bomb as Tanier rounds a headshot on. Chopper expects it.
For him.
It's not planted at all, but there's no kit. It's a full 10 second, but as Chopper comes off, no kit required. Spirit are through. 3-0 in Stage 2 of the ESL Pro League. They move on. G2 left in the rear view mirror as it's full pedal to the metal for the Dragons of Spirit.
Yeah, a sweep of the series right there. G2 show their stuff. They show what Tanier can do at his peak level here. I mean, just phenomenal work being done out of him. Donk towards the closing stages as well, having massive impact. You think of those back-to-back